without further ado, here's your host, Chuck and Mash.
All right, so it's been great getting back here. We're into the wee hours of April 1st. And I got to say, it's been great to get back. I know we've kind of getting back rolling into what we're doing. But we got to talk about the elephant in the room, and that is the fact that we are at war right now. And I wanted to get into the fact of the Iran war and how this all started. I mean, this has been, almost a month now that we
won on day one. The war was over with on day one.
Operation Epic Fury was won on day one. I mean, is that where you're going there?
Why is it that all these operations under the Trump administration sound like porn titles?
Every one of them. Literally everything.
They could be the titles of porn.
I'm just wondering if this is some kind of Hegseth, fantasy, or where have we at there? I mean,
it's like we got a 14-year-old in charge of the military, though.
Well,
a 14-year-old fucking incel on Xbox Live with his little headset.
But I have to call out the fact that Epic Fury is the exact same acronym as Epstein Files.
I didn't think about that.
Is this Operation Epstein Files? Because that was the first thing that jumped in my mind when. Because here's the thing. We have on Hot Mic in 2013. No, it's not even Hot Mic. This is actually like a tweet, because it was actually tweets back then, of Trump talking about Obama and that he should have war with Iran because that's exactly what he would do. I want to post the tweet up there. And here we are, in the middle of midterms, in exactly Trump fashion, in war with Iran, just like he said he would do if he was in that exact situation. And he is in that exact situation. And we've been at war. I really thought that he was just going to run in there, bomb a bunch of shit like we did in Venezuela. They were going to cower, and they were just these punks that we were just going to exploit. We were going to run off, and they were just going to take it. I don't think that's so much the case right now.
Oh, hell no. They're done. They're done. Dude, they are fucking mad. They are firing off all the missiles they got. Dude, the amount that they're firing up, the rate that they're firing, I don't know how fast they can make these things, but they've been stockpiling for a minute.
You're not talking about missiles. You're talking about
the rockets and shit. Just the sheer ordnance that they.
I'm talking about drones.
I'm counting that in the ordnance because they do carry explosive warheads on.
Yes, but their drone game is something that I don't know that. I don't want to say that. I don't want to count us out. Because
I've already said on a previous podcast about the war with Ukraine and Russia and how drone warfare, they're on the absolute front line of it. We are so far behind on that, it's unreal. They knew it was happening. They knew it was coming. They're not dumbasses. They were getting ready for this drone shit.
But they can make these things like I listened to the public broadcasting system and the TPR, the Texas Public Radio, the NPR, National Public Radio, and they have they can write it off as a liberal whatever. But if you actually listen to them, they have people on there that are actually into these things and down on the ground and into this stuff. And to go off on the drone situation, there are people that talk about in Ukraine and in Russia and in the in-between there, how they try to drive down through the streets, and it looks like literal spider webs because there's all these leftovers.
From the fiber optic cables?
Yes, because they actually have a cable. They can make these things.
You don't remember because you weren't following at the time, but shortly after the drone warfare started, they started countering it with jammers. And you just aim it throws radio frequencies at it, causes a drone to fall out of the sky.
Right.
You can't do that with the ones that are fiber optically controlled.
Exactly. Because it takes that equation out of that. It takes that because they're literally stuck to that cable. But, they were talking about driving down the road and driving over literal spider webs because of all this cable that
you
is
should
just
see the videos of the people walking and it's just piled up around their legs.
drenched through the roads. But it kind of shows a weakness in something that we may not have thought about. In fact, I think our government has actually started to employ some of the people from Ukraine, which they're supposed to be our ally. Why have we not done this a long time ago? To start kind of helping us and to combat that, because our issue right now is a financial issue. Everything with the Iranian war is a financial issue, and this is where they've got us. But another part of the financial issue is they are sending these drones. And from, what was told from a person on the ground is they can make these things anywhere from $8,000 to $500,000, depending on, what they have, blowing up and, its capabilities.
I've seen the ones in Ukraine, blown out house, and it's just some dude with a 3D printer making parts. And then down the road, that dude's making different parts. It's decentralized. You can't just take out a drone factory over there.
Right. And bottom line is these things are made cheap.
Yes.
Whereas everything we make has to be super expensive. Now, take the capitalism part of it. We have all the defense contractors, and we have all of these people in pocket, because that's where our corruption is in the United States. I'll back that all day long.
Decades, we've had news reports and people complaining about how much it costs for a fucking bag of bolts and some washers.
Right.
Basic fucking parts.
Right.
That we can go to get at the hardware store.
But you have an F-35. Isn't that the new one we have?
Sure.
Okay.
I think the newest one he named after his own fucking name.
I don't think that's actually
47
out yet.
or some stupid shit.
So you have an F-35 out there, which is, billions in its own sense, and it's using $1 million or $2 million missile to blow out, to target and take out an $8,000 drone.
I just need to remind future me to throw up the meme of that plane using money as thrust. I think you've seen it. Because it was billions of over budget when they finally brought it out. I mean,
it's literally how we roll. It's how we roll.
We fight war like Batman and Iron Man fight crime. Just throw money at it. Throw that meme up there.
We are. And that's where I think is our weakness. Now, do I think we're losing? Not by any means. I don't think we're losing by any means, because we have a $1 trillion defense budget. But the thing is when we're having to shoot things out of the air that are $8,000 using a $250 million. No,
it's a $250,000 to $1 million missile.
Okay, exactly. I misspoke on the money. But bottom line is it's so lopsided as of what we're using, because we have this high-tech crazy shit. And half the time, we can't even pinpoint them and take them out, because of that factor that you're talking about with these cables. And
well, it's not just that. They're very small. So getting a radar cross-section on them anyway is going to be extremely difficult. They're largely made out of plastic. They're going to be non-reflective, not that dense of material. Metal is very dense. It's very reflective. That's why we have to have our aircraft shaped in a certain way, not just the outside. People don't understand that even on the inside where the landing gear retract into, that also must be designed in a certain manner to not directly reflect radar waves back, and then use materials, paints and stuff to absorb what doesn't get bounced off in a random direction. And then, another example is an aircraft that we're bringing in to help with ground support is a fucking crop duster. Sounds crazy, but it's small, it's light, it has parts of it's fucking fabric. That's not going to reflect radar at all. Propeller engine, so it's nowhere near as much heat as a fucking jet turbine.
Right.
And it's much harder to detect. It has a massive loitering rate. And they just put a bunch of fucking guns and missiles on it, or guns and rockets on it. It's fucking amazing. I think the Fat Electrician was the one who did the episode on it. It's fucking great. Drones, again, cheap. You're not putting a pilot's life in danger. If they shoot it down, fuck it, launch another one. Nobody's getting PTSD from the fucking violence of warfare. It's like we brought in video games, basically. And you can just churn them out.
It's wild to me because I think that's where they're actually making an impact on us. We've always been led to believe, and we've always thought that the United States military is something that cannot be reckoned with under any circumstance, no matter what. And I still want to believe it because we put more money. But bottom line is where I spend $12 on this piece of wire, our defense department spends $134,000 on this piece of wire, and that's reality. That's reality. This is just like state, local government, any of that, where if you have a contract privately, you can nitpick and pinpoint and this and that. Whenever we have our government helping to secure these contracts with these defense contractors, where they charge, like you said earlier, nuts and bolts are inflated to a ridiculous amount.
Well, you know, politicians get paid off for those stupid ass contracts anyway.
Of course,
because we would look at it like you and I. We would look at it. You're insane. They put a few $1 million in my pocket. Okay, I'm going to approve your contract. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And while over here we have people. Oh shit! What's the word am I looking for? The ones that fucking work with congressmen to harass the shit out of them or try to persuade them. What they call it?
the lobbyists.
Yes. So we have all these lobbyists that are working with politicians to get their shit approved. This, that, and the other thing. Over there, and I'm not just saying just like Iran, Iraq, Ukraine, these people got to get shit done. They have to get it done. You may not have the most premium top of the line copper in your wires, or your fiber optic may not be of the purest of silica, whatever, but you can get shit done.
Right.
Like we used to. We used to get shit done. And even in Ukraine, I'm sorry, I believe a lot of these people would also be volunteering their time and efforts to help manufacture these parts, to help do this, that, and the other thing. But we have to pay contractors. We have to pay truck drivers and convoys. Who's volunteering to help produce our military stuff? Who here is volunteering?
We're paying top dollar on all of it, and with no questions. That's the thing. This is where this $1 trillion comes into effect. Where, as you have places like Iran, that they're paying the lowest dollar, and they're making it themselves, and they're, maybe they have China and Russia, bringing in and helping, just like we're funneling into Ukraine. I mean, everyone has their treaties.
Funneling into Ukraine. That was blatantly obvious that we're helping Ukraine.
Right? No, we were supposed to. That was the treaty. That was where that.
Up until Trump took office. Yeah.
Yeah, where we have to actually question where the loyalty is there. We would have never thought that.
Elon Musk charging them 10 times what they were charging Russians to use Starlink. But, it's not like that.
But he's the humanitarian.
That wasn't like it was publicly available information that he was profiteering on the war by charging them more than the other side, when he wasn't supposed to be helping the other side in the first place, because that's punishable by fucking death.
Right.
But fuck it. He's making money off of it. But at the same time, even there are limits to technology, okay? So let's say you had a radar system that was so sensitive, they do exist, but it's so sensitive you can detect the birds in the sky. You're detecting every fucking thing in the sky at that point. So hypothetically, instead of trying to find a single aircraft, a stealth fighter, bomber, anything that's up there, how are you going to defend against the cloud of 8,000 drones flying at you at once?
That's all I've heard so far.
You cannot tell me that you can't get 8,000 people. They don't even have to be soldiers. 8,000 people fucking remotely controlling these drones in one massive wave. You're fucked.
And the AI could be controlling most of it. Where all I've heard from, the what is it in Israel? Is it the Golden Dome or the Iron Dome that they have?
Which has failed.
Yes, and it's because it was made, or either that or it's our defense weapons. They were made to look for specific aircraft, but they weren't necessarily made for these little drones the size of this world.
It was also made for the rockets that they used to fire at them back in the day. Okay. They were much larger. They were much easier to detect. What they're using now changes directions in midair. Like people were even saying that it would turn back on itself. Like you can watch the smoke trail come off the exhaust of it. I haven't seen one that turned back on itself quite that far yet, but you can see it zigzag in the air, and then it deploys multiple warheads at once. Right. You can't hit all those warheads. You'd have to get that some bitch before it releases them, but it's evasive maneuvers, man.
It's so to rewind back, because we're hitting this, war subject way after the fact. Mm-hmm. And we have to go back to the, first week, which was weeks ago. And we spent, what was it, $6 billion? I'm throwing a number out there. There's a crazy number of billion that we spent in the first week just bombarding Iran.
Didn't they just ask for $200 billion more to continue this? It was the Pentagon that requested that money. Yeah. Fuck the $1 trillion that you already got. Now you need $200 billion more. And you've been at war for 3 weeks?
So we're asking for money over something that Congress has never approved to begin with?
I didn't say that they requested.
No, I am.
Okay.
I'm saying that the Pentagon is requesting this money over something that the Congress, who is our purse...
Oh, you're referring to the war itself.
Yes. And I'm talking about, why do they not have to be made to specifically request from the House, who should have already approved or disapproved this, because the House just willy-nilly lets Trump do whatever he wants to do. That's no question. That's not even debatable. But you have the nerve to turn around and ask for money on something that was supposed to be what did Trump call it? It was a excursion?
Yes.
This is an excursion.
See, last time I went on an excursion, I was snorkeling out at the 7 Reefs in Cozumel. I was looking at the fish and the sea urchins. Right. He goes on an excursion. It's fucking death on both sides. Yeah. Shit's blowing up. It would be more efficient to literally just set money on fire. It would be more efficient. And it would actually help the value of the dollar, because you're removing money from circulation. Well, it would actually be more beneficial to this country if you just set pallets of cash ablaze.
Right. Well,
because now we got fucking the strait's been blocked, closed off to us.
Yeah, the Strait of Hormuz.
It's like that's fucking with oil shipments, and it's not just affecting us; it's affecting the whole ass world. Right. OPEC is fucking just running back now.
Yeah,
we had them beat. Now they're taking charge again.
Well, I mean, they bring up gas prices and the Strait of Hormuz. There's so many things that run through the Strait of Hormuz. Because one of the conservative arguments is we don't even use their oil and gas. But the bottom line is...
Well, we didn't. Now after Trump got elected, we were getting, 4% from them?
It's really not a lot as far as us, but 20% of the entire world's oil and gas come through the Strait of Hormuz. Yes. And oil and gas is traded on a international, global level, and so that affects our prices, and that's something that...
And used to be done in U.S. dollars. Now, not anymore. China just bought some with yuan.
Now, but that was under the demands of Iran. I don't think we have lost the petrodollar yet. because
But the first chip in that armor has already happened.
It is, and I'm not an economist. I'm not an economist. Everybody knows that. I've never pretended to be, but I do know that this goes way back into the 70s. Whenever we decided that we were not going to back our dollar with gold, which is how it used to be. It used to be.
Thank you, Charles de Gaulle.
Exactly. So every dollar that we used to print had to be backed by gold.
Yep.
And the way we circumvented that was to start with the petrodollar. And that's whenever we got, who was it, Iraq, to decide that everything traded as far as selling barrels of oil was going to be in that petrodollar. And we decided that that was what was going to back our dollar system.
Remember, we also had the oil crisis, too, where we literally rationed fuel.
Yes, in the 70s. Whenever gas was even more expensive than it is now, whenever like $1 was
if you adjust for inflation, yeah, it was wild.
Yeah.
So not only, and it's just that's one thing that's so much different than now. Yes, gas prices have gone up, but we're not limiting how much you can buy at a time.
Right.
We're not at that point yet. We're not rationing.
If they were doing that, then
yes, they were limiting like how much gas you can get and on what days of which you can get it.
Oh my gosh! See, and this is something I haven't dealt.
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh shit!
I just remember hearing that in the 70s there was this oil gas crisis, and I remember hearing that gas was dollars, which was back then $1 could get you movies, date, Coke, soda, dinner, all sorts of shit all in one night. And I was like, really? I mean, you were paying what we were paying now for gas? What the hell? $5, $6, $8 a gallon back then? That's insane to me.
Yeah, that was the energy crisis. And one of the things about it was, and this, I haven't pulled up the exact numbers yet, but imagine like you could get 10 gallons on Tuesdays and Fridays, and I can get mine on Mondays and Thursdays.
But who decided that? Alphabetically, your last name?
I forget what the exact thing was. I think
it's kind of like here in
it's like in Alabama, your registration is done by your last name.
Okay, because I was going to say, because like here, where I live, when they started the rationing of the water, if your address was an even number, you could water on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. But if it was an odd number, it was Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
And what's wild about water rationing is every time they do that, the water usage goes through the roof.
It does, but
it goes even higher.
But
what the fuck?
It just made me wonder, like, who decides these things? Like, because maybe my wife, has a different hyphenated last name, before, and we could use that. I don't know. What did they do to decide all of those things?
But yeah, it was. I mentioned Charles de Gaulle earlier, and that's because he decided that they wanted their gold back, so they were cashing in all their U.S. dollars to get gold back, and
kind of what we're doing now.
Nixon was like, "Oh, okay," and then like other countries started demanding, and they're like, "You know what? There's no gold standard no more."
Yeah.
He took us off the gold standard because they were going to empty out Fort fucking Knox because of the lead of Charles de Gaulle. But why he was still in power for so long is
and that's where we're at. We have backed it off of the petrodollar, where every country in the world had to do this, and this is historic.
Now in New York, I pulled one of them up. New York is drivers were allowed to buy a half a tank every other day. It's actually a lot of gas, but they also got like 4 miles to the gallon back then.
Right. You're talking about no computerized systems. You're talking about, whereas, what I'm getting at is, like you said earlier, this is historic, where Iran said, yeah, I'll let you take stuff through the Strait of Hormuz, but you're going to trade in the Japanese yen. Yen? Is that how you say it?
It's yen and the Chinese yuan.
Or the Chinese yuan. Okay.
Yuan.
Sorry if I butchered all of that. But bottom line is...
Fuck it, blame the liquor.
just blame my ignorance, because it's not our petrodollar, and it's not what has been the norm up to this point. And like you said, that's a chip in the armor.
Yep.
That is the first step for them taking our dollar down to nothing, because I don't know what else we can back it with. We have people cashing in on the bonds that we have sold them. Now you've got Trump wanting to put his fucking name on it. You've done enough to take the value away from the dollar, and now you want to put your signature on it. So, okay, how is that going to make it better other than just your vanity?
I want my name on this useless paper. And I want you to look at that fucking signature when you have to have a fucking wheelbarrow of it to buy a fucking loaf of bread. Look, 'cause you remember the previous rant we haven't posted yet when I was going to fuck off because I was of the shit that could possibly go down. When the German mark started collapsing, people would get their paycheck and use it. You'd spend their money immediately because in a few hours it's going to be even more worthless. Like, it got that bad, that desperate, that fucking fast. The value of our dollar can become near zero in a couple days.
So you're already tapping on one of the questions that you knew I was going to get into, because I get into this at every podcast, of how this equates with the 1920s, 1940s Germany. And you're already tapping into that.
Yes, I've been in fear of the fucking dollar collapsing because it can happen at any moment.
No, but you're showing me that this is the exact timeline on top of the exact playbook.
Yeah, their actions come from the same playbook, and the effects are the same fucking thing again.
And we're just seeing it again.
Yeah, and who's stopping it?
We're not. Obviously, we voted for this.
No, I didn't.
No, I did. Because I specifically remember last year, I remember getting on Facebook, and they told me if I voted for Kamala Harris that we would be in a world war. And here we fucking are. And I voted for Kamala.
You'd be getting more expensive gas.
Yeah, and look where we're at.
Look at this.
They were right. Touche, fucking MAGA. Touche. Here we are. I voted for Kamala, and here we are in a fucking world war. Tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, by the way, they did increase the draft age to 42.
Hey, I'm still good.
I'm not, motherfucker.
I don't know that you are. So have fun with that. Please take your medical records. Maybe they'll help you out a little.
No, they'll just give me a hover around with some F-16s on it.
Hey, you're going to be like that MAGA dude in Walmart with the fucking hover around and the flags. Dude, I can see it already.
No, I'm taking this one with me. Rambo fucking Trump.
You're going to be that dude in Walmart, like, seriously, like with the fucking MAGA flag.
Gut hanging out, cheeseburger and F-16. That fucking meme. That meme from years ago. America.
And your little toggle remote. This is a South Park episode in my head already. But yeah, no, I mean, touche, MAGA. I did vote for Kamala, and we are on a world war, so thank you for that. And you're right. You were very right. I can't help but think that if Kamala were president, that we may not be in this situation. You may have had some headlines of trans women or trans men or men in women's sports or something that you could have talked about. I don't know.
Hi, I'm Vera Tamilo.
I just wish we were dealing with that instead of the fact that we're in double digits now of Americans that have been killed over there in Iran. And this is the no new wars president. I don't remember Kamala even running on that. So,
do you remember back in the good old days when we just had to worry about clowns out in the streets?
I attribute that to the series
Simpler
of
times.
It that scared the shit out of all of us during our time.
No, there's just like roving clowns. That was like national news, dude. Like that was the big issue at the time.
I just remember Barbara Walters saying that, Satanists were trying to pick up kids.
I remember that.
And it was conveniently during Halloween, but we're going way off.
Yeah,
we're going way off track here.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's fucking derail this fucking train. I remember seeing the PSAs when they was going on fighting against Dungeons and Dragons because they were claiming that kids would like lose control of their imagination, and they had like a video of kids in the sewers killing each other.
Yeah,
over fucking D&D. Over D&D. Like,
yes, it just had to scare the shit out of everyone. But and that's the perfect example, because here is what you've been sold, America.
It's 10 p.m. Do you remember? Do you know where your
Do you know where your kids are? Yes. I was.
And Homer screaming for the last time. No.
It's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?
I told you last night. No.
But here's the thing: you have been scared to death that us liberals, or I claim, to be a liberal. And if you were to vote anywhere how I was going to vote, that you were going to get literally everything that you're looking at right now. Now, if I remember right now, because I'm going to bash Trump at this point, he literally told you, no new wars.
They're not new. He brought back the classics.
He did. He did. And you've seen my TikToks and my shorts where I specifically have J.D. Vance and Trump telling you, we are not the world police. Yeah. We are not going to get you into any foreign wars. We are America first. We are this. And conveniently, in a midterm year, which we obliterated this nuclear capabilities last year, were we told that? Now, it's my understanding, because not only am I not an economist, I am not a nuclear weapons expert. But I also believe the experts that tell me that nuclear weapons cannot just be fabricated and uranium cannot be enriched in the span of 2 weeks, like I've been sold the last few months. Now, I was told last year that their complete system had been obliterated with a bunker buster. It was a huge thing. We were all big nuts over our military, and we dropped the badass whatever. And I was told that they're years now away from being do this, that they were set back years. Now, please
that's a load off my mind, because they've been 6 months away since the fucking 90s.
But not since last year, because we were told that we set them back so long. Now, I want to know, were they lying then, or are they lying now?
Well, you remember that one person came forward and gave out information about how the attack was not successful. We only merely damaged a little bit, and then their response was, this is a lie, and we're going to prosecute them for giving out classified information.
Yeah, for leaking.
It's weird how it's a lie and classified. Do we classify lies? Because if it didn't happen, then they didn't release classified information. They did that. So when the fuck are you lying? Now, then, or then 10 minutes prior to that?
That's my biggest question, is like, hey, look, like there's no doubt. I mean, we've called out at the very least 20,000 of Trump's lies at this point. I mean, it's a Google. Yeah, you could. They'll tell you exactly from every fact check that's ever been done. It's just constant out of his mouth, and that's great. Okay. MAGA has embraced that and said, well, he didn't mean that. And, now they just pretty much come out and said, hey, we don't care. Because, we're happy that he's, terrorizing brown people and hates the same people we do.
And his first term alone, it was 30,573 lies.
Right. And so politicians lie. And that's the talking point. Hey, well, what politician hasn't lied, right? I mean, they all have. But the thing is you're sitting here now you're basing one that's actually taking our lives. Now, I have children, that are within the realm of being taken to war. And I have buy-in on this, other than the fact that I just care about the fact of, hey, you know what? You said you weren't going to take us to wars. Dude, I don't like you. I haven't liked you since 2016. But you know what? Maybe I'm going to give you that part. Maybe you'll forgo the bullshit whenever it comes down to it. I'm going to give you that. I've tried. What was it the other day that I said, hey, I can't even... No, you didn't even see it. Somebody came out. Trump was on a interview, and they were talking about Iran, and they were talking about soldiers, and he busted in and said, hey, so when are y'all making a statue of me?
Yeah, he completely derailed that conversation with stupid fucking.
Right? No, so
I think he was talking about not a statue of me, but arch to Trump, because he wants to have Napoleon's arch replicated here in the
right,
States.
and not to take this the other way, but I was kind of making a point where I took the still of that, I put it into my AI because I like to use that for a fact check or at least a basis to start. I took that and like you were pointing out earlier, AI can definitely be wrong.
Yeah, it hallucinates.
I get them to at least kind of show me some of the statistics that I can branch off of. And I took the still instead of putting the video up because it doesn't do good with video. I put the still on there and it said, hey, this is misconstrued, this is that. And the person that posted it on one of our local pages said, hey, look, Trump is bad enough without you making up shit. You don't got to do that. Hey, and then my homeboy, fucking, Mr. Davidson, who I hope to have on remote shortly, he jumped in and said, nah, dude, this is real. This was a real thing. Like, they were literally talking about our people, and he jumps in with, hey, well,
I watched that video.
Where's my stuff? I know, but can we, again, can we believe anything you've seen with AI? I use AI for fact checking, but AI.
That's why you've got to look whenever you're watching something and you want to make sure it's real. Look at the finer details. Look how many fingers they have. Yes, it's gotten out of control. They should not be using AI to make false information like that. At the same time, dude, we're talking about a president that literally himself posted a video of him shitting on American citizens. So can you really deny anything that he could say or do? Or would a lie besmirch his person?
No, not by any means. But here's the thing. I showed you my TDS argument. Touche. So I don't want to play into that because I don't want to give them any more of that because at this point,
we don't need a lot.
We saw our short. TDS at this point means Trump diddles schoolgirls. TDS at this point means total devotion. Did you?
We got reported for that. I won, but we got reported for it.
It is total devotion syndrome. And you can point me out. I have it proudly because it is documented how many lies this dude has. How many court cases have to say that this guy was a sexual predator? How many court cases has to say that this guy lied? How many court cases has to say that this guy is a con? How many people
40 years of women coming forward accusing him of sexual harassment, sexual assault, sexual battery, found civilly liable for rape. I mean, it just does not fucking end, and they still voted for him.
No, but don't even end it there. Let's go to the next level.
Pardon drug kingpins, the largest drug trafficker in the history of Earth, several child sex offenders.
Right.
He has pardoned child sex offenders, and they still love him.
But not even sex crimes. I'm talking about the fact that he didn't pay any contractors. He's lost many of those he still hadn't paid.
Even with the East Wing, yet again, per usual, they dipped out because he was not paying them.
Let's go there here in just a second.
Trump Tower, he wasn't paying the contractors there. Got sued. He called immigration on them.
But any facet of any crime, he has been there. And that's like, okay, that's the TDS that I have, that I'm like, hey, Do y'all not believe that not one of these things? Because here's the thing. I'm going to defend a past Democratic president and say, if y'all would have found one thing on a Democratic president, you would be still hanging on every bit of it. Because I keep hearing about this Biden crime family that's pay to play. And this little 1 million or 1.2 that Hunter Biden did, or I don't even know what it is.
He
because
wasn't even in politics. He's the son of one.
Yes, but he supposedly sold access to Daddy.
Okay.
Okay.
All of them do that.
And I'm not okay with that. What I'm saying is at this point,
there's a big difference between that and fucking children.
And it's a drop in the bucket to what we're dealing with right now. I'm not going to defend Joe Biden. Put his fucking ass in prison. I don't care. Do that.
He was way past his prime.
But can we at least get all of them while we're doing this? And why are we okay? And I've got TDS whenever they're statistically, scientifically,
mathematically, empirically.
Yes.
Let's use all the words.
Yes. And then let's go ahead and get into dockets. Let's go ahead and get into dockets and law and all of the things that can actually be proven that are against this guy. Because you want to say that I base my things off of feeling whenever I can guarantee you that everything I base my beliefs off of is actual proof and things that are there. Not AI.
And sometimes out of his own fucking mouth.
Now, I don't believe anything out of his own. But what I like to throw
when he's saying he sexually assaulted a woman, I'm going to believe that he did.
Right.
Because he was bragging about it behind closed doors.
Right. And my thing is all I'm going to exploit is the fact that someone else believes it. I'm going to say, look, he said it. And then, well, he didn't mean that. And he didn't.
Well, he was just joking.
Yeah, no, I mean, he can literally come out and say, hey, you know what? I really don't give a fuck about you, and I'm going to take it. And they're going to go, no, you're not.
He said it himself. He can go on Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and not lose a single vote. And by God, he has proven that shit to be true. That's one time I can say Donald Trump told the absolute truth, undeniably, indisputably. There's no way you can prove that wrong.
Well, it just takes me back to the Fox News case with the Dominion voting people. And literally, they lost. I mean, this was the biggest
like
case in history.
$870 million.
Almost $1 billion.
That was the settlement offer.
Yes.
It never went to trial. That's what they offered.
That they took.
Yeah. And that was just one of them. The other case is still going.
Right. And when someone actually decides, hey, we better settle this, almost bankrupts Fox fucking Entertainment. And I use this edit a lot, and I say that because Fox comes out and says, hey, we lied to you. And guess what ever MAGA said? No, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, you didn't, because I loved what you were saying. I loved what you were saying, and I'm just going to run with that because now I'm going to pretend like you didn't do that. No.
Here's something to think about, though. You have people who believe what they say. They fucking Fox News is gospel.
Right.
And then they voluntarily offer up to just one of the two cases. Just one of those cases, nearly $1 billion to end it.
Settlement.
Admit they fucking lied.
Yeah.
And then you still believe the further lies they are still now telling you.
Yeah, you're telling them, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I know if I lost $1 billion for a lie, I'd quit fucking lying. It's $1 billion fucking dollars.
No. Now, we know better than that part.
Because the shareholders sued him as well. Because since they lost that money, the shareholders said, you cost me money. I'm not making as much money as I could have because of you.
Even though I tell you,
I'm going to sue you how the hell are you going to sue a company you own? You're suing yourself. Throw in that.
Yeah, because you didn't throw in
that Lewis Black stand-up routine from Alabama.
Right.
3 years ago, Alabama was 47th. And the people of Alabama were so upset they sued the state. That means the people of Alabama sued themselves. They said, I'm taking your ass to court. I'm going to get me a lawyer and I'm going to squeeze your nuts, Bubba. You'll never have another proper dental plan again.
But you're talking about this is why CEOs have this pressure that they have, because they've literally said, I have no loyalty to the brand.
Yes.
My loyalty is specifically to the shareholders.
I told you about Henry Ford losing that case.
Right.
That is a CEO's solemn duty
Yes.
to maximize profits for the shareholders.
And this is, I want to say, it just pops into my head. Tell me if this is completely off the wall. But didn't the Republicans just in the last few Congress sessions designate corporations as
people,
a person?
Yes, they granted.
I want to say all that has to intertwine.
They
somehow.
granted them personhood and it was the mindset behind it was corporations have the right to free speech, especially political speech. They granted them personhood.
Okay.
In that aspect.
And I don't know where that's going, but that's exactly what jumped into my mind when we're talking about that.
Because the counter argument is you're giving somebody more than one voice. You have a voice, I have a voice. But if I own a company, well, now my company is also my voice. That's two voices.
This kind of goes back to that old landowner argument we were talking about earlier, right?
Oh, we're the only.
Do we want corporations to have a vote now?
The only. Oh shit!
Is this where we're going? Are we going down that road? No?
I don't want to go down that road.
No, but I mean, am I going too far by saying that?
Don't give them ideas.
I don't think I need to.
I think you just did. Fuck. That's a scary one.
Because I believe the 100-year plan has been in effect. I believe the Heritage Foundation is already on all of this. I believe that we're already in every bit of this. And so, with that being said, kind of want to segue talking about the Fox News situation. There was a man that was made a martyr for that, but it's kind of backfired. And that's Tucker Carlson. He was actually fired during that whole situation. And I think they kind of made him the spokesperson.
They made him the fall guy because they wanted to show, oh, okay, we got rid of him. He did it. They throw all the blame on him. Somebody had to be thrown under the bus.
And one thing that I can tell you right now, and I'm bought in all the way, in the last year and a half, Tucker Carlson has shown and has admitted that he was a paid shill for them. And he'll tell you that he was paid to speak up the Trump administration and to speak all conservatives. They're scared to death of this man.
Well, just look at Megan Kelly.
Who?
Well, she says her name's Megan, but it's spelled Megan.
And there's a lot of ways to spell Megan. Who's Megan Kelly? Because I've heard this name, but where? No, it's not coming to me right now. Who's Megan Kelly?
Well, I would say she was a Fox News contributor, white female, blonde hair, but boy, that doesn't fucking narrow it down.
Right.
They're all just fucking cookie cutters.
Oh, you mean the one that they made our defense?
No. She went
that was a different one.
She went to fucking MSNBC or some shit afterwards.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she used to say some wild, crazy ass shit.
No, Megan Kelly was the one who said that 15-year-olds could consent.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Well, she was trying to downplay because she was saying that they liked girls that were barely legal, like 15, which is not barely legal. 18 is barely legal, and that was the argument that I was making.
And this is coming from a woman.
That they are trying to downplay the whole kid diddling stuff by making it seem like underage is now barely legal. Right. Again, barely, which is close to, and fucking legal.
Okay, I get. Okay, let's dial it back. So.
This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls.
Sorry. The stupid.
No, I get it.
Gets me.
So let's dial it back. We're talking about Fox News.
Yeah, she used to be on Fox News, left the channel, and kind of, in a roundabout way, came forward that, yes, she was just saying shit because they wanted her to. But Tucker Carlson was a bit more open about it.
But the guy he's good at it.
Oh, yeah.
The guy is good at it. And now that he has a personal interest in. He has his own podcast. He has his own thing. I'll tell you, I don't know that I follow it. I do watch it quite a bit. I have a lot of respect for Tucker Carlson. I always have, actually. No.
I can't say that.
No. Hey, you pay me what Fox News was paying me, and I'm going to get up and tell you Trump's the best fucking thing ever made. Now,
I'm not saying I wouldn't do that, but I'm not going to say I respect the man for it.
No, I respect the fact of what he's capable of. And here's the thing. He has them running scared. And I knew this way back then. Just like, who's the other guy with the part now that's still there? It's a paid shill. We're going to see him break in a couple of years.
Yeah.
What's his name? You're going to pull it up. You're going to figure it out later. But he's good. He's good at what he does is what I'm trying to get at. I knew Tucker Carlson was good at what he did back then. I've never respected him. I've never respected him until now. He's always had them by the ganjes, man. He's always had them, and they loved it whenever he was saying what they wanted to hear. Now, just like Candace Owens, I'm not going to run and jump on the bandwagon of let's fucking follow Tucker Carlson. But I have a newfound outlook of him because I know he's good at what he's doing. He was good at it then. Now that he has a personal interest in it, now I'm really interested in what he has to say. Is it a grift? All of them's on a grift. Are they not?
You kind of have to be to make a living.
Paid. They get paid to do this.
Yeah. You kind of have to be on a grift on that.
I mean, it just depends on kind of your definition of grift, I guess. Because, I mean, you're paid.
Well, it's one thing to be on a grift because you want to have a podcast that actually makes money and you make a living. Or you're grifting by using someone's death to put a shit ton of money in your pocket. And you may or may not have been involved in that death.
Well, if you're throwing Candace in there.
No. I'm throwing the spouse in there.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah. Listen to those conspiracy theories.
Right. So, like I say, my thoughts on Tucker Carlson are very conflicting because, like I say, it's as much as I fucking hated him on Fox News.
It's hard to learn. It's hard to like a giant piece of shit.
It is. It is. But you're talking about someone who is on that different level. Now, if Jesse Waters, of all people, decides he's going to break from the MAGA cult, do you think I'm going to say, you know what, Jesse Waters is good as what he was always good at what he did, and I'm going to not? No. Because there's something about Tucker Carlson who had that. All the other Fox horse shit that they got, whatever, I'm not going to give them that. Now, that dude I'm talking about with the part that I can't figure out, that guy.
I blame your BAC.
Yeah, and you should. But that guy is good at, what I'm saying is he's good at what he does. If the Dems were to get a hold of him, it'd be insane. He would do this and that.
Well, dude, I'm not saying these people ain't good at what they do. I'm just saying what they do is fucking horrific.
I'm specifically saying Jesse Waters is not good at what he does. And I get banned off of a lot of Facebook, TikTok accounts and saying that Jesse Waters pays other men to have sex with his wife while he watches.
I mean, it's one thing to have a kink for that. And, what consenting adults
I'm
do.
not kink shaming. I'm just saying that Jesse Waters would speak out on someone else if that's what they wanted to do.
I will say, though, you shouldn't be paying them because now it's prostitution. But if you're just inviting some friends over and y'all just having fun, that's fine. Y'all do you.
I'm calling out Jesse Waters right now. Fuck you, Jesse Waters.
So, hang on. Give me a moment.
No, I really do. I've had so many TikTok because I'm like, you know what? Why? Even MAGA should go, who is this shill here?
Oh, shit. I'd pay for that. Dude, have you seen this girl?
You talking about Jesse Waters' wife?
Yes.
No. I'm telling you, that's how much I can't stand that guy. She a smoke show or what? Not as much, you know. She doesn't
Definitely.
look like a dude at all that I thought. Again, fuck you, Jesse Waters. Let me make a point. Fuck you, Jesse Waters.
Are
from
we
the Chuck and Mash Show. I am representing the Chuck and Mash Show and saying, fuck you, Jesse Waters.
Have we become Amtrak? Because this just keeps going off the rails.
Okay, sorry. So, no, I had to make a point there because fuck Jesse Waters.
Fuck Amtrak. Keep trains on fucking tracks.
Okay, what I wanted to get at is what you're going to see now.
I want to get his wife. Goddamn.
Yeah. What you're going to see now on this podcast is Tucker Carlson actually coming out. Now, this guy has never been an Israeli, you know, I can't find anything where he completely sided with Israel, even back when he was paid. But he is calling out the fact that we are basically cucks for Netanyahu. And the fact that Trump is doing everything that Netanyahu is calling. And these days, whenever you come out and speak out against Israel, you're automatically this
Oh, yeah. They just.
anti-Semite.
Yeah. It's immediately, why are you anti-Semitic? Why do you hate Jews? Like,
Yes.
I can dislike what Netanyahu as a person is doing and commanding and what
Or I can
military
dislike
is
Israel in general.
But-
Can I not?
apparently not.
No, apparently not, because that's the speaking point that they use to counter that I'm this
Again,
demon.
that's the same counter like somebody like Charlie Kirk would use. You would be specific. You don't like this. You don't like what this person is doing. Why do you hate this group? Why are you racist? Why do you hate America? And that's one thing that you will fucking see over and over again from the right is if there's one thing that you have a grievance with, why do you hate America? Because that's the whole fucking point of derailing their argument. You want to try to control the narrative. You then want to put them in a defensive position, put them on the back foot so you can control the conversation.
Well, one thing I will point out is the fact that Charlie Kirk was not pro-Israel.
I never said that. I'm saying how he would.
I know, but
How he
you
would argue
brought
with
up
these
Charlie
kids.
Kirk, and what I'm saying is maybe that's part of this conspiracy theory that we're playing.
Now, I have seen a lot of that. I have seen a lot of that.
To kind of go off, like you say, off the rails. We're all the way off the rails, but Charlie Kirk did speak out against Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And if you notice, even what was it, Lindsey Graham? Now, is anybody surprised at what Lindsey Graham says? Okay, let me give that disclaimer.
Fuck Lindsey Graham.
No.
Now, this is
Thank
general.
you. Fuck
Just in
Lindsey
general.
Graham. Let's go back to Ted Cruz, our senator here in Texas, who got up and tried to speak. Play the clip.
I will say this.
You speak for yourself.
If you will not stand with Israel and the Jews,
No.
then I will not stand with you. Thank you, and God bless you.
Now tell me how a senator who is representing me, who I can tell you right now, I've never once voted for Senator Cruz. I've always voted against Senator Cruz. But this is the man that is supposed to be representing me. How is he going to get up there and talk about if I don't represent Israel and if I'm not pro-Israel, then he is not for me? How is that a part of our United States? And you wanted to sell me America first.
Here's what gets me is why is he? The states do not get involved with international stuff. States are supposed to worry about the state and the nation.
Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz do.
I know. It's even like when we had to try to make a fucking deal with Mexico about deporting illegals. Texas, it's not lawful for Texas to make international fucking deals with other countries. Why the fuck we getting international? Bitch, I did not vote for you to be the fucking president. I didn't vote for him at all. But his number fucking one concern is Texas. And the people of fucking Texas.
And you're talking about Abbott, like doing all these international deals with people. Yes. I mean, because Texas has always operated as it's kind of half-ass annexed. Texas, we're Texas. We are our own country.
Look up Texas in the dictionary and you will see arrogant.
Thank you.
Very. I do love it though.
Now on paper, we're part of the United States, but on the other sense of it, we are our own country, and we are proud of that.
Fucking size of one.
Yes,
my stepdaughter had asked me about what's it like living in Texas, and the first thing that popped in my mind was Peter Griffin describing The Godfather, how it insists upon itself, and like you go to any fucking store in this state. Texas merch, the state-shaped fucking waffle irons, like the state. I mean, at my house, I have pavers that you walk on that are in the shape of Texas.
And it's funny you said that because.
And the thing is, though, I love it.
What state did you originate from?
Tennessee.
Okay, so you're from Tennessee. Now, my first wife, her sister married a Yankee. Can I say that?
Yes.
Can I say Yankee? Okay. He's from Utica, New York.
Jesus.
Now
that sounds like part of a woman's anatomy.
Okay, so
she's got an infection in
I grew up as an oil field kid. Oil field. This is why I've never been in the oil field. Because my dad would drive us through oil leases. I would literally get sick from the smell.
Yes.
And he's like, do you smell that, son? That's money. I'm like, okay, we're making somebody money. That's fine. That's great. This is why you've never seen me in the oil field. But here's the thing. Now, my sister-in-law's husband moves here from Utica, New York. Now, New Yorkers think that we are arrogant. New Yorkers are fast talkers. They don't understand why we hold the door open for people. They don't understand why we wave at people while we are driving. They think this is a weird thing. In fact, they ask, what the fuck is wrong with you whenever you do it? They don't understand the polite Southern charm of
Texas. You drive down the road.
Okay. They don't get that. So he shows up from Utica, New York, and he said, hey, so where are all the horses at? He's like, man, I was told that all you guys drive horses and ride horses to Dairy Queen and to the this and that. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you on? What are you talking about? And he's like, man, really, where's all the horses? And so we're sitting and we're drinking beer and we're drinking Bud Light. Well, on the Bud Light can is a very specific Texas symbol across this Bud Light can. And he said, just like this can. He said, I'm taking this beer. I'm not going to open it. I'm going to take this. And I'm going to keep this on my shelf because I do not understand how you guys are so proud of your state. He said, I'm from New York. We don't give a shit. We don't give a shit about our state. This is weird. Now, I have to agree with him. It's fucking weird because now, but back then, I was just this, dude, it's Texas. It's what we do. Like, we're the shit. We're the shit. We always will be. And he said, I was always taught that you guys are slow and lazy by the way you talk. Because everyone listening here, you can hear our drawl. You can hear the way we speak.
Oh, yeah, dude.
We do speak
People
slowly.
assume I'm dumber as shit, but I'm the first one they come to when their car breaks down.
Okay.
And I'm not saying it's because I ran my own shop and I've been working on cars since I was 8 years old.
But listen to you speak, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and everyone that's not from the southern state can get listening to us speak slowly, and enunciate.
And what's
now, this guy's from New York where they're like, what the fuck? And they're honk fucking everywhere they go, and everything's a rat race, And he just did not understand it, and he thought we were slow and we were lazy. Now, I'm lazy. Never claimed to not have been lazy, but here's the thing. He shows up here from Utica, New York, and he needs a job. I call in a favor, and I get him on a pulling unit. And he rolls out on the first day, 108 degrees in the West Texas sun on a pulling unit. He kills it. He kills it. Don't get me wrong. This dude can work. This dude can work. He come back and we sit back and we're drinking our Texas beer. And he told me, he said, man, he said, you can't believe everything. And I said, hey, how lazy are we now? I said, do you really think that we're all lazy here? You know? And he goes, no, man. He said, this fucking sun ain't no joke. He said, we used to put box fans in our windows because we didn't need air conditioning. You know, and he said, y'all just talk slow, and so we thought y'all were all dumb. He said, but I met these people here, and, you know, not a, you know, half Italian sounding shit, you know. And I'm like, so he got acclimated to here. Now he lives here. I think he's a crackhead, runs around, whatever. Whatever. But, he got acclimated to the place. He figured out, hey, you know what? We're just a whole different country than what you're from.
Dude, it is fucking different out here, dude. It is like a different country.
It is. And what's crazy is, as liberal as I am, I still hold on to that.
People conduct themselves in a much different manner out here than they did back home. I think it might be because you don't know what they're packing, so you're going to conduct yourself in a more
You better expect that they're packing everything that you expect them to.
Back home, you get to a fight at Walmart because somebody thought you was looking at them. Right. Here, somebody thinks you're looking at them. How you doing? It's like, dude, I've had so many fewer arguments and fights, and like people just. I like the folks here. Yeah, I really do like Texas. I don't like the fucking heat. I do like the fact that it doesn't rain every other damn day. I don't miss the humidity where it's 90-something% in the middle of the night. I actually posted a video years ago. It was 3 a.m. I'm out in my shop. I'm pouring sweat, talking about we need to pray to a different deity or something.
Oh, give it a couple days. You're gonna get that.
Because I was half mile off Tennessee River.
Look, y'all, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. It's already too fucking hot to be outside. The fucking devil's got to be at work at this shit. We've got to put a stop to it. I mean, if we got to vote in different politicians or pray to a different deity, this shit's got to stop.
I spent my whole life on that river, towboats, whole 9 yards, paddle boat. I mean, I'm one of them country boys. You guys have days like that. Damn it, it ain't every day.
But we don't have rivers like that either. If it isn't
the
Brazos
air
or the Colorado River, we don't even have it.
You can push on the air because the fucking humidity be so high.
Well, some of us want water.
Water's nice, but not a fucking tropical jungle.
I guess bottom line is I am proud to be from Texas. I always have been. I've been, bred to be that way. I've always been.
Well, I carried on the tradition of being a Tennessean that goes to Texas.
Right.
Davey.
And that's great. Right. And that's great. That's great because we should be proud. But what it's turned into now is just this loyalist, dystopian future that I'm not real proud of. And to hear our own governor get up and talk about all of these problems that we've had, whenever he's literally been in office since, 2013? I'm pulling a number out of my ass, but bottom line is it's been long enough for him to not be able to blame the other political party.
Texas has been blaming the other political party, and the thing is, Texas has been red since 94.
Yeah.
So
the last
you've had 20,
Democratic
30,
governor
you've had 32 years to get your shit straight.
The last Democratic governor we had was Ann Richards. And I promise you, if she were to run right now, every Republican would shit themselves because she was pretty much conservative, man. I mean, the Democrat the type of Democrat that I want. I always tap on this conservative part of me. Ann Richards was that person. because she was this straightforward badass that said, you know what? Men ain't going in women's restrooms. We don't give a fuck. Period. But on the same sense, she was still a Democrat, and she was with our values as far as taking care of our less fortunate and those people. But she was still a badass woman. I don't know if you've ever looked into Ann Richards.
No, I don't.
I implore you to do that because you're all into history and you're telling me about.
I'm into history. You talking about?
I want you to look into Ann Richards since you've moved here and you're intrigued with Texas. Look into Ann Richards because nowadays, if she were to run, the liberals fucking would lose their mind. They would lose their mind over Ann Richards. They'd be like, "Oh no, no." You know, she's far right. You know, but she's the Democrat I want. That's the Democrat that I want, and that's the kind of person I'm looking at is people like Tallarico. You know, people talking about, oh, well, I think Tallarico is just a Fetterman, which is what I want to get into next. So on the war, do you have anything else to add to the war? Because I think that's where we started.
I was told we won, so
we won.
Is there a war?
Over.